drink the water from 2 cans. Hey, who are you? Oh, I'm the Fairy of Discomfort. And I hear you've been a very good boy this year. What does that mean? It means I have a gift for you. You ever think about how sound is just wiggly air that makes our brain feel things? For example, summertime ice cream, tomato soup with grilled cheese. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Notice how some of those made you feel things? Sometimes some of that wiggly air or textile feeling, it makes us suffer. And lately, I've been thinking about the ones that make me suffer, and I'm curious if these are normal. Like, there was this one time I was unloading the dishwasher, and I had made a mistake that I didn't think would be a mistake. Earlier, when I was choosing all of the settings for the dishwasher, I put all of the settings on max, because that's what I always do. Which seems like it would make sense. If you want to clean your dishes, why not choose the setting that makes the dishes the cleanest, right? Apparently, doing it too much can change how your glass dishes feel. I went to put away one of the glasses, and when I touched it, I felt such a discomfort that I let out an audible blech. The best way I can describe how it felt was squinch. But when you touch it, it feels like a squinch, which is obviously terrible. It's like if glass was more grippy. This is what it sounds like. Has anybody else come across this? Do you know? Do you understand?
Can you look into my heart and feel what I feel?
In college, I had a roommate that would set up a ton of alarms that would go off every 5 minutes in the morning to wake him up for class. It would go off for like an hour or so. Unfortunately, for the guy who was next to us, I was the same way. So every morning, it was like... So now, whenever I hear the iPhone alarm, I feel some kind of primal fear. It's terrible. The weird thing is, these days, I don't wake up to an alarm anymore. I wake up, my dog wakes me up. How she wakes me up, she'll get into bed, and she'll start wagging her tail. And you'd think that the same thing would happen. I would hate the sound of her tail, but I don't. I love it when she wags her tail, because she's a cutie patootie. She deserves happiness at all times. What do you find unusual? Is it nails on chalkboard, or perhaps... What do you think VPN stands for?
Pringles nourishment?
NordVPN is a VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network. NordVPN has many features, such as being installable. Install it on any of your devices. You can have internet protection wherever you go. Protection from what, you ask? Not me. Don't need to worry about me. I'm not dangerous. NordVPN protects you from things like malicious ads. All things that are more dangerous. Use promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get NordVPN's 2-year plan plus 4 extra months for free. Risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks NordVPN for sponsoring this video. I hate hair. If it's doing anything except for being on a head, terrible. In food, on my desk, in my face, but the worst is when it's being pulled off foam. Do you know that sound? Content warning, I'm about to play that sound. I think there should be some kind of invention that combs your hair without needing to comb your hair, so that we won't have to have this horrible sound in our ears ever. Or everybody could just go bald, and that would probably just solve a ton of problems. Maybe you can figure out why I hate this one. I don't know, but you know socks? It'd be kind of surprising if you didn't, but anyway, socks, they keep your feet warm. They are the best in winter and can have fun little designs on them to make you look cool. But when you wear them in bed, I would not be able to sleep. I want them off. I would rather have no feet entirely. Why is that? Your feet are so far away from the core of your body, it would only make sense to keep them warmest when you want to be warm and cozy, which would be at night in bed. You know, after working out and you get really sweaty, or not even working out, you just like, when you get really sweaty, and then your shirt also gets extra sweaty, and then somebody comes along and tries to hug you. Ugh. I don't even want my shirt to be touching me, let alone some other person when I'm sweaty. Don't touch me! Don't touch me! I'm weak! I'm already weak and tired! Would it be possible to liquid cool a person? Sure. saying that out loud makes me seem really dumb. But like, if you take, you know, those gamer computers that have liquid cooling in them, could you do that with a shirt and then put that shirt on a person? I think that would be cool. I think one of the worst feelings in the world is at the dentist's office. You go to the dentist's office, you need your teeth cleaned. They're like, hi, I'm here to help you. But then they crack out that little scratchy thing, and then they scratch your teeth. Some of you may be asking, I can think of way worse things, such as, what if this happened? Yeah, it is worse than that, okay? Anyway, that's about all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go do a cozy thing as a palate cleanser.
Excitement comes standard with the Honda Accord, and so does a turbocharged engine. Stand out with the Honda Accord. Contact your Honda dealer today or shop online.
Customers are not always like this, which is why I brought you all here today to share with you a story. Come on, come here. Here's a blank. Here's a snack. Cuddle up. Here's this, if you want it. Okay. From Mighty Max 22. My first job in high school, working at an ice cream parlor. We had 3 sizes: 2 scoops, 1 scoops, and child size. Why wasn't it just large, medium, and small? Don't ask me. One day, a guy that had to be well into his 80s slowly walks in. It was early afternoon before the typical rush at night, so he was able to walk right up to the counter and stare at our board of flavors, toppings, etc. You can see on his face that he's getting irate for some reason. He's pacing quicker here and there. You can see his mouth open to talk, but he doesn't. Finally, he speaks. I want your smallest ice cream, but it's absolutely demeaning I have to order a child size. I'm a grown man. I have children and grandchildren of my own. Wah, wah, wah. This goes on, and I'm unable to get a word in edgewise. I cannot understand why people are like this. Like, did you want help? Or did you just want to poo-poo all over the place? Your poo-poo words. He keeps going, and finally I interrupt. How about this? I just give you the smallest size we have, call it a small, and charge you for the cheapest ice cream. For some reason, this answer wasn't acceptable. He goes back into his rant about being a grown man, and is now screaming at me about how insulted he was. I again reiterate, I can just give you a small ice cream, but no, anything beneath an institutional change is not going to stop this guy. This is like going to a doctor, being like, help me! Of course, here's a Band-Aid. No, it's goofy, it's silly, you know? Use your brain a little bit. Anyway. Oh. Perfect. Let me tell you about the sponsor of this video. War Thunder. War Thunder is a pew-pew game full of all kinds of boom boom and bang bang. War Thunder is a free-to-play multiplayer action game full of all sorts of things, like planes and ships and tanks and grass and trees and water and clouds and sand and dirt. War Thunder has a ton of unique vehicles, both renowned and prototype for you to play with, all with their own feeling and playstyle. This one feels sticky. War Thunder includes vehicles from 10 nations: USSR, USA, Germany, Great Britain, Japan, China, France, Italy, Sweden, and Israel. Make use of tons of customizations like camouflages for your vehicle to make your vehicle truly represent you. War Thunder locations span all over the world from Africa to Alaska. Gain control of enemy territory with aircraft and helicopters in the sky, small large naval vessels in the sea, and tanks on land. Download War of Thunder for free from the link in the description. All new players and those who haven't entered War of Thunder for 6 months or more will receive 100 Silver Lions, a week of renting legendary German ground vehicles, 3 premium vehicles as a gift forever, XP boosters, a weekly premium account, and other bonuses. Get all these bonuses by clicking the link in the description. The season of German gifts will soon come to an end, much like all things. Play now on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and other. Okay, back to the screaming old guy. He just kept going. Now other customers are starting to walk in and just watch him rant, screaming, do I look like a child? I have grandchildren older than you. Meanwhile, he's refusing to order something else. Just consider the smallest size a small rather than a child size, which was written on the board, and won't leave either. The owner now comes back to see what's going on on because now there's a long line and this has been going on for a good 10 minutes. As is usual with these situations, the owner introduces himself as the owner, which then prompted a response, "Good, your employee insulted me." As the man explained how I insulted him, the owner pivoted to the same thing I did. Can you just call it a small and be on with it? This made things worse. Finally, after him screaming at the owner for a few more minutes, the owner says, "You came into my shop, don't like the name for my ice cream sizes, berated one of my employees, and are now berating me. Please stop using the phrase disrespected because you're the only one being disrespectful." Usually in internet stories, this is when the writer puts, "and everybody clapped," but nobody did. The situation was way too awkward for them to even acknowledge they were paying attention. What if somebody did clap? Woo! Sorry. The old man went to talk, and the owner cut him off and just said, "Let me be frank. Tell me what will make you happy, and I'll do it." The old man stood for a few seconds and just angrily said, "I'm never coming back here again," and walked out the door. This is funny because this guy played himself twice. Once, because he wasted his own time, because he just didn't accept help, and then, also, because he didn't get any ice cream. And that was the one goal that he had. The one goal anybody has when they go to get ice cream. And he didn't do it. It's really easy. Watch. See? We need some kind of rule as a society to say that, like, if you're making demands but also refusing help, you get, like, 1 minute tops. And then after that, first rules take effect. We can't continue to let this happen for people who give us ice cream. That's crazy, right? It is. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want to stand up for an employee that the customer is really rude to, beat up. What?
Lives up to that. Hey, it's Jillian, and
Look at me. Look at my eyes. Do I look like somebody who likes to work? Or do I look like somebody who likes to eat pizza like a cookie? Personally, I think it's kind of weird how much we're expected to work in high school. Like, you have to go and serve people McDoubles for 4 hours and then go home and suffer X. That's a lot of work. Does anybody else think that's crazy? Or am I crazy? I am crazy. I really did not want to get a job when I was growing up. I don't like to work. I just like the money. But if you want to go to the movie theater with your buddies, you gotta have the cash. One ticket, your total is $20. For my first job, I wanted to avoid the food service because I feared people would be a little bit more abrasive when it comes to their meals. You'll find rude customers anywhere, but I just feel like the food involved things get a little hairy. I don't want people yelling at me about onions. I don't care about onions. I ended up working somewhere that's not food, which I will show you through example. That's right, my very first job was here at the UPS store. It was not really that great. Regular job. Don't worry about that. When I turned the age of 16, my dad helped me network with the local UPS store and get me a job. Which, thank you, Dad, for helping me do that because at that age I was not the proper candidate for being an employee. While working there, I met a lot of really nice people and a lot of really cool people. Boy, when you work in retail, it's impossible to not meet some, how would I say this in a nice way? Outliers. So one time, this woman and her daughter came into the store and they said they needed to ship something. When you ship something out of the UPS store, you gotta ask a bunch of questions like, where is it going? Is it going international? Do I need to be worried about what's in this box? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm going through these questions and entering information into the computer as I did with any customer. But apparently, that was the wrong thing. She unfolded her cane, which apparently just turned into a chair, sits down and says, "This is gonna take a while." Excuse me? Why would you say that? You could say a million things to me. Why not compliment me? Why not say, "Wow, Amy, your eyes look beautiful today"? She was shipping internationally, which means I had to do extra steps to make sure it gets there. So after a minute or so, she turned to me and says, "You guys should really have the computers on our side of the desk so we can do it faster." Oh, I'm sorry. Do you know all the rules and regulations for shipping overseas? Do you know how this computer works? No. The worst part about rude customers is that you can't say anything despite if they're wrong or not. The customer is not always right, and the person who quoted that famous phrase is very wrong, and probably it was also a customer. I think if you're mean to retail workers, they get to yell back at you. Or at the very least, you get to tell them that they're mean and make them leave. You're mean! I've only ever encountered these kinds of people at work, and I've never seen them in the wild. But if I did, and I didn't have to keep my mouth shut because I didn't work there, then I'd go right up to them and say, "You're mean!" Anyway. Then there was this other time where this guy tried to ship drugs. That day was particularly slow. Nobody was coming in, and it was just me and my coworker, Tony. Tony and I got along really well, because neither of us like to work. I want to go home. At one point, a guy comes in to buy just one single box. Simple, easy, he's in and out in a jiffy. But 5 minutes later, he comes back in, same box, but now something's packed up inside it. I saw the box and how he packed it, and he did the thing where he kind of fold the flaps on top of each other, which is a problem because then it just falls out if it's not taped. Can I get a description of what's in this box?
It's private.
I mean, we just need a general description, like,
Is it food, perishable? It's microchips.
okay.
Microchips.
Now, because the box wasn't properly taped, Tony came over and was gonna tape it up for me while I was helping him on the computer. But the guy stops Tony. I just need to retape the box really quick so it doesn't come out during shipment. The tape's free if that's what you're worried about.
Okay.
He timidly allows us to do that, which I don't really know what his end game was because we opened the box and there was weed.
Sir, we can't ship this.
I'm no expert on illegal trade of illicit goods, but
With background play on the YouTube Music app, you can play official tracks and live recordings in the background while you clean up all that mess.
on illegal trade of illicit goods, but I know a thing or two about shipping, and I know that drugs, you can't do that one. That's on the no-go zone. We opened the box because we needed to redo the flaps so we could tape it properly, so if he just came in with the box taped, we wouldn't have known what he was shipping. There's no x-ray machine at the UPS store to see what's inside the box. The only missing component here was tape. More than anything, the situation just was awkward.
Okay. That's, Sorry.
I want to go home. Me too. Here's some advice. If you want to ship drugs, don't. Then there's this other time where this guy tried to overnight a misshapen magazine. This time I was working alone. It was a night shift. It's dark out. And this guy comes in holding a magazine. Hello, sir. I can help you at this register.
Oh, he's just getting an envelope.
Probably to ship that magazine.
Is he packing it up back there?
Is he trying to hide something from me?
Weird.
I want to go home. I'd like to ship this next day air, please. When you ship like a piece of paper next day air, UPS has this special envelope that makes it cheaper. And I saw that he's trying to do that. So I talked to him about it. Oh, actually, we have these special envelopes that cut you a deal, so it's cheaper to ship next day air. At first, he was hesitant about that, which is definitely a red flag, because it was like $100 cheaper to ship through the special envelope, and why wouldn't you do that? You could spend $100 on buying, like, I don't know, Five Guys. That's a lot of Five Guys. Five Guys good. But still, nobody would pass that up, so it was weird that he hesitated. I eventually talked him into it because I think he was like catching on that I was catching on that he was being suspicious. So I started typing in the information for him, and he started to move the magazine from the envelope he picked up already to the other envelope that I offered him. And while he was doing this, I saw that it had a big, weird lump in it. So that's another red flag. 2 for 2, baby. Why was the magazine bulgy? Is he shipping drugs? Oh my god, this is like $1,000. Who is he sending this to? What if it's the mob? Well, now I have my fingerprints on it. And then I sent it off. I don't want to get involved with the mob, or whoever that was. I was 16, alone in this store at night, and not paid enough for it to be my problem. I guess now that I'm on the topic of illicit substance distribution, there was this other guy. He would always come into the store and be like, hey, I shipped a box to your store, and it's big. And we'd be like, oh, is this the one? Yeah, that's the one. Of all the other customers, this guy was very easy to deal with and really charming. But one day, a couple of other customers came in, and they're like, hello, we're the police. They asked to see the manager, and they talked to him, and then a couple days later that guy picked up a box and then was arrested in the parking lot. Turns out he was importing a lot of opium. I think it was around this time that I realized I miscalculated when I passed up all those food service jobs. But then again, is any retail job good enough? I don't know. I better would have had a better time at Five Guys. Stop eating the french fries. Anyway, hindsight's 20/20. Other stuff that happened. One dude asked me if the narwhal bacon's at midnight, which was very cringe, and trust me, I know cringe. A bunch of cheerleaders burst into the store, cheered, ran in a circle, and then left. We suspect they were just trying to cause a commotion while their friends would steal things, but then realized there was nothing interesting to steal at a UPS store, and then went away. There was a guy that would often come in and try to ship bath salts, which I'm not paid enough for that. A man wanted me to send faxes, and then when I told him the number wasn't working, he shook the paper in my face and yelled, fax! It's not working. Fax! Another dude wanted me to help him with his email because the government was hacking his email. There's a guy that would come in a lot and tell us about word affirmation, but thought that it was literally magic and not just a self-motivator, and told us that the sounds in our voices affected atoms and quarks on the quantum level and would make things a reality. For example, like if you just said, I have juicy booty, I have a juicy booty, I have a juicy booty, then it would be true. There was always the classic handful of people that would knock on the door after we were closed and ask if we were open. You guys open? No. And that's all that I can think about. If you subscribe, I will throw this box into a volcano. Thank you very much for helping me animate the video. And that's everything. Now I'm gonna play myself out.
Flight as a superpower, but with fear of flying, it would just be terrible. Maybe I can just walk. If you're afraid of flying, it's definitely not the only thing you're afraid of. One time when I was a kid, my family went to Willis Tower, and if you've never been, at the top of Willis Tower, there are these glass boxes that poke out of the building that you can actually walk into and look down at the city if you so please. I thought it'd be really cool to see everything with no obstructed view. But the closer I got to the glass boxes, the more my brain cranked up my fear. There's never been a mechanical failure. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, but what if it's not fine? What if it breaks for the first time when you stand on it? There's always a first time for everything. But it's maintained regularly, and look at all the other people doing it. They're okay. Yeah, but what if when you get on, a bug flies into a bird's ground and it chokes, which causes it to hit a plane, which makes the plane crash, and the plane hits the screw on the glass box, but the plane actually recovers and flies away, so everybody's happy about that. But the screw spins until it comes out and it rattles the whole glass box, and you fall. So when it was my turn to the glass box, I decided to not. The building is what makes sense, and it's never had a mechanical failure, and I could have had a cool experience, but I was just too freaked out. However, even Even if fear is sometimes annoying, I stand by my wariness of mechanical failure. Things happen. If there really are infinite realities inside of infinite universes, then that means somewhere out there, there's an Andy that met a terrible fate. Oh! Sucks for that guy. I don't know. I think it would just be nice to be up in a high place and enjoy the view without my brain screaming code red all the time. Again, I prove my point. Fear is annoying, but not as annoying as this.
Get professional care for hair loss from the comfort of your home without ever visiting a doctor's office or pharmacy with Keeps. Sometimes hair loss happens. What is that thing? Shush, you don't touch me with that! Keeps can help you with your hair care goals in a multitude of ways, such as getting your treatment delivered to you on your schedule. As a part of your Keeps treatment plan, you get access to the Keeps care team for any questions you may have 24/7. Keeps also offers hair thickening shampoo, conditioner, not for competing, and styling pomade. These products work great together to complement your treatment.
No, I said no.
Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of the hair you have, Keeps offers treatments that work for you. Head to Keeps.com/ice cream sandwich to get a special offer today. Or later.
Every Monday. Okay.
Thanks, Keeps, for sponsoring this video.
Fire can be useful for a lot of things, like roasting marshmallows, pyrotechnics, and whenever you want lions to hop through a ring of fire. So, despite all of these joys that fire brings us, I am also afraid of fire, but only big fire. I'm not, like, screaming at candles and stuff. Beechwood lavender. It's specifically scary when it's out of control. I've seen videos of people driving through or even next to forest fires, which awakens a deep and primal fear. I'm not even in the situation. I can't imagine the courage firefighters must have to fight forest fires. A lot of F's in that sentence. Did you know the size of a loose fire doubles every 60 seconds?
You gonna put that out?
Yeah. Shut up. Show an example. I can't remember where I heard that fact, but it's very scary.
Fire is incredible. It can feed you, it can protect you, but if you're not careful with it, fire can totally and completely destroy everything you've ever known in life.
Hey, I said pass the marshmallows? Oh, yeah, sorry. Here you go. Darkness. It's the idea of the unknown. Anything could be right out in front of your face. You would know. One time, long ago, I went out to see a movie with friends at a nearby movie theater. When the movie finished up and everybody left, my plan was just to walk home. Eventually, I get to my neighborhood and I see a dark figure in the distance, and there's no light. I start to get a little nervous because I don't know what or who that is. At this point, my mind is starting to sound the alarms again. A murderer? A bear? An eldritch creature of the night? Whatever it is. Adrenaline. As the shape gets closer, it starts to look more and more humanoid. Then, I see it's a person, and they're running, and I think it's pretty fast, and I think it's running directly at me. I am in danger. There is no reason anyone should be running at night at anyone. I am not fighting, nor flighting. I am just standing, baked in fear. They get closer and closer, and once they were close enough, I figured out that they were not running at me at all. They were just on a nighttime jog. The funny thing about darkness is it messes with your sight. When your brain doesn't get all the information it needs, it will just give you the favor filling in the gaps itself. So my brain just assumed it was getting attacked. It was just an hallucination stemming from my fear. Cool. That is the thing that freaks me out about darkness. It's unknown, and that scares me. Anyway, those are my top fears. Thanks for
almost died hiking, along with all my friends. Let me explain. We're recording a video for the Socks channel where we spent 100 hours in the most isolated hotels we could find. And that final hotel, if you would call it that, was located on just on top of a hill.
I think it's a little tiny hill.
Like the Teletubbies hill.
I can roll down it. So tiny.
Yeah, just a nice little hill. To clarify, that hotel was more of a wooden hut that was on the top of a 35-mile hike mountain.
Yeah, the room service was terrible. There's no Wi-Fi. It sucked.
Just to clarify for you British or European folk, why do you have to point out us European blokes?
I'm not associated with this British.
What are you talking about, Plaza? We live right next to each other.
You get out of my country!
Shut up that way.
Hike to get to this hut was a 56-kilometer stroll.
How many Celsius is that? What are you talking about?
We had to do that in 3 days. That's like climbing the tallest building in the world 70 times.
Oh my god.
Did you have any incidents on the way?
Yeah, we nearly died on our way up and down. Our journey began Saturday night after an early 5-hour plane ride, followed by an hour rattling around in the back of a rented van. So the van we got only had 2 seats in the front, and the rest of us were just in like an empty box.
The rest of us.
You were sitting in the front. Are you sure you didn't get kidnapped?
I think I did, honestly. The reason we had to take a rented van is because we had to bring like bikes. Okay, we had to get 6 bikes for each of us. The only way to fit that many bikes is to get a van, and it has to be those big empty vans. We had like 2 people in the front, me sitting in the front, luxury.
Yeah, we're not rich like you, Socks. We have to be in the back.
While the rest of the people, like Nadway and Oof, they were in the back with all the bikes and everything, okay?
For how long?
Hours.
Illegal?
It is very illegal. Every time you would hit like a speed bump or a pothole, you would bounce all over the place. And the bikes were with you in the back. So it's like every time you hit something, the bikes would just crush you. And you would just hit every single side of the box for hours.
What a jolly good time. What a nice vacation.
That wasn't even the hike part. That was just to get to the hike. Our goal was just to reach the trail where the hike starts just on the first day, right? The road was covered in potholes and every little bump sent us flying in the back. Okay, when I say we, I mean them. I was sitting in the front having a good time.
Yeah, you were in the back. Luxury.
I was having a nice conversation with the drunk driver.
Wait, so you were going on top of a hill with a drunk driver?
There's 2 minors in the back of a van.
No way this man is not arrested.
Hold up a second, I've just realized you guys are blind.
Just to get there took a long time. Maybe like 8 hours if you include the flights and the driving and stuff like that. It basically took the entire day. By the time we arrived at the trail, it was already around like 7, 8 p.m. It was already evening.
That it finally started.
What started?
The hike.
Wait, what?
We haven't even started the hike yet.
Yeah, we just got to the entrance.
So after a long day of travel, we stood up on our bikes at the very beginning of the trail. If it was just doing the actual hike, it wouldn't be that bad. But we also have to do stuff for YouTube. So I'm like, before we can even start, I'm standing there saying blah, 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 stuff for YouTube and whatnot, being like, oh, what's up, gamers? You know? And we're getting like drone shots. And by the time that's all done, it's already been another hour. So by the time we actually start the trail, so it's already 8 p.m. Like, it's almost dark, basically. All the stuff in our backpacks had like extra YouTube gear. The people that were with us, like the cameraman, the poor cameraman, dude, they had like 50 to 60 pounds of stuff in their backpack.
You forced that man to hike up that mountain with that heavy backpack, you monster.
You have all of that plus what you need for survival. You know, like you can't just take water and food. We also have to make funny content video, haha. The stuff we had in our backpack made everything twice as hard than it actually was supposed to be. We didn't think much of it. We're like, it's easy.
I thought much of it. What do you mean?
I could have done this easy.
The first part of the hike is a 9-mile bike ride, which doesn't sound too bad. 9 miles, not that bad. The whole bike ride is on a incline, and it's about a 10%, sometimes 15% gradient. So that's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, we'll try 100% Socks.
Yeah, you tell us.
Riding on a 10% angle is considered a painful angle for like riding bikes.
Painful?
Yeah, we also had to ride with those heavy backpacks in the middle of the night. Can't see anything. Socks one leading us.
Well, this is on the actual bicycle website.
The bicycles have their own website?
This is on the Tour de France website. A 10% angle is considered painful if it's maintained for a long time. And then anything above 15% is considered extremely challenging for riders of all abilities.
And where were you on?
And we were on 15%. And we had to do that for 9 miles.
You stayed on your bikes? You didn't like walk?
Oh, no.
Well, when we started the hike, right, the incline was so bad at times that we had to get off our bikes to just walk it. It wasn't just the fact that it made your legs just completely cramp up. By this time, there was no more sun. And this wasn't just like a nice road, okay? This road had potholes and sometimes parts where you would just fall off the mountain itself.
You know, I actually did fall off. I fell off twice. I almost fell into that abyss, but one bush saved me, alright?
Did the bush grab you? Did it have arms?
Yeah, basically.
The actual light was an issue as well. So we're like biking. First of all, we could only go for like, I would say minutes at a time.
Damn, you suck socks.
What do you mean? You tried doing that.
Have you seen the size of my legs? Look at this. Look at this. Look at how big my legs are.
I want to lick that.
We probably stopped maybe, I would say a good 30 to 40 times just on the bike up. I would say at least 7 times we nearly died because only about 2 of us had headlamps for actual light while the rest of us had to bike in the dark.
2 of you guys could see, and the other 2 were just bats. Blind bats.
I was the bat. I was the bat.
Oh my god, you dirty bat.
It was almost impossible to bike in the dark because if it was a nice road in a nice public neighborhood, sure, so what if you ran into a pedestrian or a dog or 2? That's whatever. But it's like on this one, if you made a mistake, you would die. So what was supposed to only take us an hour or 2 took us the whole rest of the day. We weren't even at the hike yet. This was the pre-hike to get to the hike.
Are you kidding me? I thought that was half the hike was bike riding.
No, that was the trail to the hike.
At this point, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm riding my tank.
Tank? What tank? You had a tank this entire time?
Yeah, I got it from World of Tanks. A free-to-play team-based strategy game with hot tank-on-tank action. Use strategy to get advantage on your foes. Strategies like side scraping, reverse side scraping, blocking damage with the turn, blocking damage with the hole's front, hole dancing, and
hiding your tank?
Register into the game with the description to get free stuff. Who doesn't like free stuff? If you're a new player, get the Cromwell B with 250k credits, 7 days premium access, and 3 rental tanks for 10 battles each. If you're an existing player, get the Camouflage 2D style bargain, 3 days premium access, and the 7 days rental of the premium tank Centurion Mark 5/1, or 100k credit compensation if you already have this tank in your garage for some reason. Play right now and experience the holiday up event with the famous British AXA and football player Vinnie Jones. Look how cozy this village is. Upgrade your festival atmosphere and get special rewards like this dog Shappy.
Oh, so cute. Oh, look at your little dog. Oh my god.
Complete Vinnie challenges to get more rewards like decals, a 2D style, and even Vinnie himself. Mark 2 players as best friends so you can visit their villages for extra resources and unlock special customization. You can team up and defeat the enemy. Now you see here, I angled my tank 30 degrees to the left so the shallow would break it.
Get out of my way! Charge!
Thank you for World Tanks for sponsoring this video, and remember to register in-game through the game link in description. By the time we got to the first checkpoint, it was the dead of night. We found a little trail piece. I mean, we've never been so relieved after our leg were literally cramping. You know what's bad? When the strongest person in our group, a literal bodybuilder, literally died.
Are you talking about me, Socks? Yeah, you're talking about me.
All right.
Must be talking about your
Get
son.
out of here!
Why did y'all even hike again? Why did y'all even hike again?
Oh, we did it for a video.
Was it fun?
No, this was not fun. We made it to the first part of the trail, which I guess we were in quotations excited because we made it. But after what just happened, I don't know if we were looking forward to it. The original plan was to hike up at least a little bit the first day, but it was already past midnight and we were already exhausted. So we had to make camp right in front of where the trail started. This is the first time I went camping, or should I say all of us. Why is setting up a tent so complicated? All right. After an hour of just wrestling with nylon and rope and fighting some tears, I ended up with a deflated bouncy house. Okay, I barely even fit inside. It was so tiny.
So me all the time.
You're telling me 2 grown men cannot set up a tent?
Allie, we had 4 grown men. I didn't even set up my own tent, all right? I had someone else help me, all right? Because I'm not doing all that. I was grumpy, I was tired, and I was exhausted, all right?
I would just use my tent materials as a blanket.
Yeah, until you're afraid of a bear and eats you alive.
You know what I would do?
Shut up, no one cares, dude.
Dude, I would do that. I am the survival guy. Listen to me, dude. I could craft a spear with 2 sticks, 1 rope.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Just you would build an entire castle from scratch.
He knows. I got the blueprints in my head.
Are you gonna build the queen of grave too?
I'm gonna push you down this mountain that way.
Oof sets up his tent and dies, okay? He sets it up by himself, right? And then just crashes for the night.
I was asleep. I was gone. I did not.
Like the first 5 minutes, he's already asleep.
After an hour or so, if not 2, we all set our tents up, and none of us had dinner because guess what? We forgot our pots and pans, so we couldn't even cook anything.
All right, what made our bag so heavy then? What were we carrying then? If we didn't have our pots and pans, what were we carrying?
What do you mean, what were you carrying? You was there that way. What are you talking about?
I don't know what we were carrying. All right, we had no pots and pans. We couldn't cook food. What was so heavy in those bags? What did Socks have us carry?
Why do you need pots and pans? Just cook it on the floor.
We just had Cliff Bar and fruits that were dried up.
You brought fruits? That is the worst thing you can bring.
No, it was dried fruit.
Fruits that can rot in a day.
Dried fruits. They don't go bad. They last like 20 years.
Yeah, but what did you have to cook?
We brought like MRI food that you can like heat up and like, cook. It's like the army people use.
You can eat it without cooking it.
Nope, not the ones we got. It said you must cook.
Why would you listen to that?
Man, eat it without cooking it.
So, we all set up our tents. We ate some Cliff Bars. We were fine, right? I got inside. Honestly, every bug in existence decides to be as noisy as possible. Horrible neighbors. Here's the thing. It's not really comfortable to sleep either. I don't know if you guys spent any time under the stars recently. You're basically laying on a thin sleeping bag on top of a pile of rock, and you call it a tent. We settled down. We're gonna fall asleep. We're gonna get ready for the next day. Or at least I thought. I heard some rustling.
Was it Brian back alive again?
No, we have already lost one man. He's down. He's dead, okay? You're in the woods, right? So it could be a bunny, it could be a squirrel.
It could be a bear.
I started hearing growling. It's my first time camping, and I'm about to get eaten by a bear. Bears have insane noses, okay? They can smell food from even inside the rafters. We knew this beforehand, so we threw all our food in a tree, like far away from where the camp was. But Oof, since he fell asleep right away, his whole bag was filled with food, okay? His whole bag was filled with them, okay?
He's keeping all the food for himself.
We didn't know this till the next day. So all I thought was like, oh, did we leave some food somewhere? Like, is there a Cliff Bar or something in my pocket or something? Am I seriously gonna get eaten alive because some spare Snickers bar I forgot to like take out of my pocket? I woke up the camera crew. I was like, get up. If I die, at least record it. Get the content, okay? There's a bear. There's a bear. Carson, our cameraman, he woke up. He started to panic. And the thing is, it's the dead of night. We don't have any light. We don't see anything. We all started panicking, started talking. We were like, making noises and stuff like this. We just waited to see if something were to happen. But minute after minute, it was like, is that really growling? What is that noise? It just kept on happening, like every like 10 seconds. Like it was almost like a rhythm.
It was someone snoring.
It was Natalie! Bro was snoring, bro! Bro was snoring on the first night, and I thought it was a bear. You know how loud this guy was snoring?
I didn't know 14-year-olds could snore. I thought you only developed snoring after the age of 50.
Bro, I'm Arab, okay? And I'm tired. Okay, of course I'm gonna snore.
He was on the other side of camp, okay? He was on the other side of me, and he was snoring so loud, I heard him all the way to my
How
tent.
old is that way again?
Oh, he slept like a log.
After a 9-mile bike ride, barely any food, I'm exhausted, all right? I want to sleep, all right? Leave me alone.
You're like 80 years old. What?
Leave me alone, man.
We went to bed and we woke up about 2 hours later because the thing is we had to keep a very tight schedule because we had a plane leaving already the next day. We couldn't like sleep in and take our time. No, we had to go and we were already behind schedule. We had a tough first night. We barely had any food. We had about 2 hours of sleep and now we were just starting the hike. It would be awesome to have like breakfast before, but no food. Why didn't they just put a McDonald's or a Mega Mall like right where the start of the hike would be? It would be so much better. So we were hoping to feel big and strong before to climb a mountain, but no food. So we just started the hike. We were in the lower part of the mountain. It was a lot in the forest. It was kind of nice, and we had to cover about 3 miles, which was not bad. Our second checkpoint was to reach a lake. It was super important for us to make it to the lake because the difficulty on the first day ride meant we have already gone through about 90% of our water. We were already out of water on the first part of the hike, so we had to make it to the lake.
I offered to drink Sox's pee, but he wouldn't let me.
We started this first hike and we were walking. It wasn't the fact the distance was too far. It was the elevation elevation was bad. So when you do on the bike, that's like 10-15% elevation. This one is like inclined stairs. It's like worse stairs. You're just going up and up and up because you're literally climbing a mountain at this point. So we're crossing logs, we're crossing rocks, we're crossing streams. No, not streams. There was not streams.
I wish I could have crossed upon your stream, bro. I was thirsty, son.
We had to reach the lake. And at that point, if we reached the lake, I didn't even care how bad that water was. We just had to make it. So after about, I would say about 2-3 hours, we made it to the lake. We just had these purifying straws called life straws. And we went up to that lake.
Me next, me next, me next.
Sucking it.
How does it work?
It like filters it somehow. But the thing is, it's so slow. Like you have to suck so hard.
Oh my god, where do I get these?
Because it's good if you just want to get refreshed. But the hardest part is that how would you filter all that water and put it into your canteens?
You spit it.
Exactly. But you know how long that takes? You have these 2-3 liter water bags and you convert maybe 7 droplets of water a minute. We spent like an hour or two at the lake and I filled my water bag maybe like a third. Meanwhile, Oof and Nadway, why are you guys so quiet, Oof? What were you guys doing at the lake?
I felt, okay, listen, we sat in a tent for a little bit just chilling. Because the flies! There are so many bugs! They drove me crazy, bro!
You were scared of bugs, Nedway?
Juice, I was enraged! Those bugs, man! I can't stand them! They just kept on landing on my face, my leg, my water. I can't handle it, Juice.
You stink so bad.
Here's what Socks is not telling you guys. This man's a little thirsty boy. He drank his entire water bag the first way up.
I'm trying to live.
I had like 3/4 of my water left, so I was like, I'm gonna relax while these silly gooses fill up on water that is literally toilet water, and I'll drink my nice bottled water.
Yeah, me and Oof sat in the tent, snuggled up next to each other, and started cuddling in the tent while they were hard working. But I decided I want to go put water because I'm running out. And Socks is like, no, wait, you gotta put water. You're not having any of mine. Okay, fine. I go put water. I spent 30 minutes, but then one fly decided to land on my arm, and I go to swat it, and I drop my water. All the clean water goes on the floor. I just gave up.
Remember what these guys say. We'll see who needs water in just another day. I told them they need water, and they're like, oh, nah, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. I got it on camera. We couldn't stop here. Like I said, we were on a schedule. We had to do the second part of the hike. And this was to reach the 3rd checkpoint. And this was probably, it's not the hardest part of the hike, but it was definitely harder than the 4th. So the 4th was the first part. The second part is more through the mountains. It was even more rigid and more kind of like elevated because it's not like hiking. You're like climbing on rocks and stuff. It's like you're in the mountains. The thing about it is that we're so high up now, right? As we're going up and up, even the air, it's like hard to breathe. One, there was a fire like an hour away, so we were basically breathing in smoke 24/7.
You don't like smoke? I love breathing in smoke.
I love breathing in smoke.
And the other thing is like as you get higher up, it's just harder to breathe.
The air isn't airing.
We just had to keep going. We had to keep the pace. Okay, you have to imagine we're at 2 hours of sleep, basically no food, coming off a 9-mile bike ride, and we just did a 3-mile hike through the forest that we should have done the day before. How were we feeling at this point, Mr. Nadway?
I was...
That's not good.
Oof was speed running. I was over here behind the...
We're trying to get to this 3rd checkpoint, which is called Goat's Flat. I don't know why they called it there. There was no goats there. But we're trying to get there. Everyone is honestly dealing with their own ways of exhaustion. We have to take breaks. Some people are complaining. Some people are fighting. A lot of people were just getting angry. The person I was actually most impressed with, right? So Nadway, the fact that he was doing this was crazy. But Oof never complained. Like he did something I found very funny. About every 30 minutes, he was like a robot. He would take a 5-minute power nap. So he would go, no complaints, and then he would just shut off. His controller was disconnected. And it would be anywhere. Like we would be on the top of the mountain on the edge, and he would just collapse and just wait there for 5 minutes. He wouldn't respond to anyone. And then he would just get back up and he'd be like, I'm good. And he goes for another 30 minutes, another hour.
Funniest thing is, the pictures we got of that, they're the sickest photos I've ever seen.
He probably just passed out.
The ground was so comfortable.
When we get to the final part of the hike, this really interesting part happens with her. There was one part, usually he would respond to us like, but when we reached the near end of the hike, there was one part where we were screaming his name, and literally there was no response. We were afraid he was dead. And I was like, oh no, we killed one of them. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. After about 6 hours of hiking, we finally made it to our next campsite, okay? We reached the Go Flats, okay? All of us, we basically collapsed. We threw whatever we could on the floor. We threw together a tent, and we had to regroup. We were just sitting down. We were like, man, this sucks. Our legs were hurting. Our arms were ripped up because it's like when you're traveling like through the forest and rocks, the tree branches are ripping up your skin. There's bugs everyone. Everyone was getting bit. One of our cameramen got like attacked by wasps, so his legs were like all bitten and covered.
That was me, sorry.
Everyone was just uncomfortable. Now it was time for the hardest part of the hike. From Go Flats to the final hut. This was another 3-mile stretch. Unfortunately, we had to temporarily say goodbye to one of our members of the elite task force, Nadway.
I'm leaving.
You guys are such whinges. Such a whinges.
What is that
I didn't even remember any percent of the hike. I turned off my brain and I just kept on moving.
Wait, that way couldn't complete it?
Dude, because my legs, they literally could not move.
But where did you go? Did you just walk off?
I literally jumped off. I had to eat food for hours, or even days, drinking dirty swamp water. Listen, man, I had enough. I was tired.
These checkpoints are campsites. So when we set up our tents at the Go Flats, that's where as soon as we set that up, we put Nadway in there and he just died. We had to leave him behind. He was sleeping already. But the rest of us, we still had a mission, okay? We had to reach the hut because we couldn't do it tomorrow. Because tomorrow we still had to go all the way back down. So we had to make it to the hut that day. 2 issues, right? Low on water, and 2, the sun was basically already dropping because it was about 7, 8 p.m. again because we were hiking all day. The rest of us, we started our journey for the final part of the hike. This part sucked, okay?
All of it sucked already. How bad could this be?
This part was not, I wouldn't even consider it hiking, okay? It was like a sort of trekking. We were going across the actual mountain part. We were going down ropes down the mountain. We were on like the edge of the mountain at one point where we were on the side, and if you made one slip, you would just fall and die. The last parts, right, the uphill in this was crazy. Like the uphill was like a straight 90-degree angle. It was like crazy at some points. Like you're going up the final pieces of the mountain at this point. And just before that last point was a glacier. The thing about the glacier, we didn't have the shoes for it. We just have these hiking boots.
Should have worn Lightning McQueen Crocs. You would have got up there in 5 seconds.
It's just ice and snow. So I stole Oos one of his hiking sticks. We just started going. The glacier parts took so long that it went from sunlight to dark while we were climbing these glaciers. We were just stabbing into the snow and like pulling myself up. Stabbing the snow and pulling myself up. Every like 3 seconds, like you try to plan your feet, but you would just slip and fall. So it was like going up this glacier, just climbing. Ugh. I mean, Oof, how did you feel about the glacier part?
I personally felt like it wasn't too hard.
It wasn't maybe the climb that was too much. It was the fact that we were on the lack of food. So I think that's one thing. You can agree on that part, Oof, right?
I was eating fruit for the first time on that hike. I was eating bananas and pears and mangoes and peach. Like, it was disgusting.
Drawing us towards the hut is that hut would have our pans and pots. So we could finally cook our food.
Pants? You've been doing this butt booty naked the whole time?
Pans.
Oh.
So right when we got past the glacier, it's like we had to make it up there. So we got up to the final part, that final stretch, was just a couple hundred meters. Not even a couple hundred, under 100 meters, that last part. The last part was the ladders.
The ladders? What is it, like only up?
They put wooden ladders just nailed to the side of the mountain and be like, oh, yeah, this is fine. And it just goes straight up. We just passed the glacier part. And now this final bit, in the dead of night, we're just climbing these ladders. This is the most unsafe stuff. How is it even approved? Like when you're climbing up these ladders, oh, yeah, the shaking's fine. Oh, yeah, this is fine. So let's just put our trust in these couple of nails into the mountain. What a great idea.
It was your idea.
But we did it. We reached the top. The dead of night once again. As soon as we go there, Oof hit his power nap. We started cooking food. They didn't even have pots and pans in the hut. We found a metal cup and we made lasagna in it.
I had to drink my lasagna. They messed it up.
It was the best food we ever had. Half of us were just sleeping on the floor. The other half, I was cuddled up next to Oof, and we were out. So we reached our destination destination. Nice. The view was insane. There was a lot of cool parts.
You were all the way at the top?
We were all the way on the top, but it was also the last day. So that means everything that we did in 2 days, we now had to do in 1 day, all the way back down.
Not even 1 day. It's probably under like half a day we had to do it.
Why don't you just roll down the mountain, Socks? I think you should do that.
At first, I was a bit like scared that, oh, we're not going to make this, because the first part going back down the mountain actually sucks more than going up, because it's like kind of rock climbing, go through the rock. It was actually easier going up. So I was like, nah, if it's like this, we're not going to make this. But once we started getting on the trail, like back on the mountain and stuff, going downhill, way better. So I was like, oh, okay, we're speed running this. We had lasagna in our stomachs. We were gaming. We stuffed our water packets with glacier stuff. Okay, we literally just put snow in our our water packets, and we were just like, yep, this is good enough.
Glacier water was so good, man.
All the food and water was just so good at this point. It's like when you want it, you want it.
This is where you wake up with a new undiscovered disease.
So we're making our way down, and we pick up Nadway. Somehow he's not dead. I had just realized that we just left this poor guy in the middle of nowhere with nothing.
Wait, Nadway was still in the tent?
He was just in the tent.
Yeah, and I didn't eat anything whatsoever. They were up there eating lasagna, drinking glacier water. I had nothing, bro. I didn't have food, water. I was left there in the middle of the night in the dark, nothing to eat.
And we're like, Nadway, we're here. We gotta go. And he was like, he said he didn't want to go outside his tent because when he tried to, it was just pitch dark, and we leave him with a flashlight. So poor guy just stayed in his tent the whole time. So we picked him up. He felt a little refreshed, which was good. But we had to speed run all the way down, and the goal was to do it in no break.
You had to carry Nadway all the way down the hill. Nadway, you was over Socks' shoulder?
Nah, he didn't care, man. He dropped me right after that.
He ain't that nice.
So what took us about, I would say about 50 breaks, maybe 100 to get to the top. We took max, maybe 3 breaks all the way back down. We were making our way back down. We were speed running, okay? We made it all the way back to the bikes. But this part sucked, okay? Because we speed ran what took us a whole day and about 4 hours, okay? We were going. We only had like lasagna and a bit of fruit and some oatmeal, okay? We haven't eaten, and it's already the afternoon. We had no water. Our glacier water was out. We were all hungry. And let's not forget that we just did about 30 miles, or if not 50 kilometers of hiking. We just have to do this bike ride. It should be nice, this bike ride. We're just biking down. It should be easier. We already biked up. We're just biking down. That's the easy part.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you don't have to pedal, right? If it was so steep.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to pedal at all. It's straight down. The thing about the mountain is it's not like a concrete road. The road is like, it's gravel. It's like rocks. It's like that sand. Just to say, if you try to brake, you don't brake, you slide. You can hold on both brake, and it would take you about 20 seconds to actually come to a stop. And if you were at a downhill, you wouldn't stop. You would just keep sliding.
Also doesn't help that we had like $20 rental bikes.
$20? Why did you get more expensive bikes for such a big trip?
No, ask me. Ask that guy right there. Sounds for one. No, ask me.
Oof. He was pumped up. He was ready to go back home. He was going. He was ready. He was like, I'm taking the lead. Let's finish this. He takes the lead. I'm right behind him. And I was like, wow, we're making great pace. This is going to be easy, right? He was flying.
Flying down the mountain. He was zooming.
At this rate, we're going to make it back in like 20 minutes. The thing is, we didn't know about the braking thing, okay? We didn't even take account. We were not thinking. We were thinking like, home. We need to go back. Oof, I see him. He's in front of me. He's like, wheel.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here, got my legs crossed up on the sofa, drinking my tea in my nice cozy fireplace. Yeah, well, where was you that way? In a freezing cold mountain?
Yeah, exactly. So what? Let's go to...
We're going speed like that. He's going, right? And there's a turn coming up. He's going at a pretty good speed. So he's going. To my perspective, it looked like he was trying to slow down, because to make this turn, you had to slow down, right? It was a turn. But the bikes couldn't. You're just sliding on the gravel. So I think he started braking a little too late, and wham! He slammed right into this log on this turn. He did a double front flip.
Double?
What? Jesus.
Slammed into the log, and his bike flew onto the path. In my mind, I'm like, because I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear like an ow or anything. Like it just happened. It was just like, boom, he just crashed. Because I'm right behind him. I just saw this, right? And I was like, that's pretty funny. The first thing that happened in my mind was I was thinking of that bike meme. You know the meme where like one biker falls and then all the 100 other bikers just like crash into him?
Yeah.
That's what was going in my mind, because his bike just landed on the trail. My instant reaction was to start braking, but that's when I also realized, hey, these brakes don't work. I slam into his bike, and I do a double front flip in front of him, and I slam into the ground. And we are both on the ground right now. And I'm like we still haven't even said anything. I don't even think a single word went in between me and Oof right now, right?
The only thing I remember is you being on the ground, and I'm like, huh, that's funny.
That's great. So we're on the ground here, and I just realized we have 4 people behind us. I was like, oh no. So at first I screamed, slow down! The next guy, Brian, who died on the first part of the hike, he was coming down. He was skidding down into the bike. He smacked into Oof's bike. He didn't fall over, but that bike then hit Oof again. So Oof just got double hit. But luckily, the other guys in the back, like Nadway, they slowed down and didn't smack into us, because if they smacked into us, that would have been game over.
Today, my friends are going to tell you how they broke into a YouTuber's party.
Someone's in the bathroom? Fuzzy, you good?
Where did it all start?
Before you start the story.
Before we all start. We were in Texas. What is called Vid Summit.
Yeah, Vid Summit.
2023. There are 2 YouTubers who are on stage doing their little speech, talking about YouTube and stuff.
It was Mr. Beast.
Their name were Cash and Nico.
My favorite YouTubers.
There was a rumor going around that after their performance, they were gonna have a party at this rooftop.
You have to be invited.
I wasn't invited.
And you have to sign up to get invited. And then like hope, pray that you got accepted to go to the Cash and Nico party. Please. That Meme God and his team, they got invited.
Wait, Meme God and his team got invited over me?
Yeah. They got,
Dude.
They got invited.
That's
We
great.
thought, we got this in the bag. We're gonna get invited. It's like 5 o'clock. We're not invited. It's 6 o'clock. We're not invited. It was 7 o'clock. Not invited. 8 o'clock was the party.
The party's gonna end soon.
It is booked. It is packed.
Booked
It is
to the
full.
brim. The line. Hours.
And we didn't have our invites.
And we called Mimi. We said, Meme God, could you please let us in?
I was there.
Yeah, Juice was there too.
He kind of didn't want to go. We kind of forced him to go with us.
Yep, they forced me.
So we asked Meme God, hey, Meme God, could you just, let us in? We didn't set up. There's like a line, and then like the security guards are blocking it. We see Meme God right behind the security guards at the elevators. He calls me and he's like, I don't think I can let you guys in. What?
People trying to get it, people screaming. It was chaos. And he was just in the back waving at us. He's like, oh, I can't get you guys in. And then he went back up and he partied.
Yeah, he just left us there to rot. We're just there.
Isn't it crazy that this whole time I was sleeping? Oh my god. That's sleeping away.
This made us furious.
Yeah, we were angry. We're like, Meme God, we pulled up for no reason.
Still have no invite.
We said $30 for Uber.
People are getting kicked out. It is packed. Me and Dad, we looked at each other and we said, you know what? We're gonna break into this party.
No.
We've had enough.
I woke up from my
We're just
sleep.
gonna
I woke
break.
up. I'm engaged. Either breaking in.
We decided, you know what? Who needs security anyways? We'll just break it. So, you know what we decided to do? We leave the building. We look around. We're like,
Yeah,
there's a
scout.
fire escape we can use.
No, not through the fire escape.
Fire escape?
Like a pole we can shimmy up.
I think you guys weren't invited for a reason. Let's be honest.
Don't worry about it.
We tried everything. I wanted to get into this party. Meme God got invited. Meme God. Jar of peanut butter got invited, but not us.
That's a fair point. Where's Juicy at this point?
Juicy's walking with us. He's like, guys, I don't want to do this.
I'm walking around.
Yeah, we were like yanking on doors and he was like, guys, isn't this illegal?
But that's the best part.
Oh, I think I was eating like frozen pizza from the fridge now.
You probably were.
Meanwhile, we ran an entire circle around the building. Me and Apple. We saw some kind of connection from one building to another building. And we were like, that way, this is it.
This is how we get in. This is our way in.
It was on the 4th floor, so it was pretty far up. So me and Abby thought, what if we go to that building? We go to the 4th floor, we go to the connector, and we get into the party.
It would lead us straight into the 4th floor of the building.
I think I went through a whole pizza at this point. I think I'm on my 2nd pizza. I don't know why I'm so hungry.
Yeah, you're really hungry. He's on that Lizzo diet.
So we sprinted to the other hotel. I'm about to open the door, and I look at Juicy, and Juicy's like, guys, I don't want to get in here.
Or I'm playing pool back at home.
All this just to get into a party?
Yes, this is a good party, right? Because me and guy gets invited, but not us. All right, we have to know why. Anyways,
I said to Juicy, fine, Juicy, you stay here. Me and Dad will go in and ask the guy if he can go upstairs to protect him. So we go in, dead silence. The one thing. There's one guy behind the counter.
we're like, hey, you know, we have a hotel at this other place, but there's a party going on, and we can't seem to get in onto our room. Could we go through the connector?
Oh, hey, Juicy. Oh, you came home. Dude, you want some pizza with me?
Juicy.
He is alone in the parking lot.
Yeah, he's just sitting there in the parking lot, just waiting.
Oh, he's not home yet. Okay, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
The guy stares us dead in the eye and says, I think the connector is blocked off.
Barricaded.
Quote unquote barricaded. And we're like, oh, okay. And then we went back outside. Meanwhile, Juicy's on the other side of the parking lot. I don't know what he's doing all the way over there. I mean, we told Juicy, they're not gonna let us in. We have to break into this hotel as well.
That was his breaking point.
I was like, what are you guys want to do?
We thought all hope was lost, but I told Navway, what if this guy is lying? What if the quote-unquote barricade is just like a little piece of string we can jump over?
Yeah, that's what I was like, oh, we gotta see. I gotta see my own 2 hours.
Gotta see. We told Juicy we're gonna go into this hotel as well. And Juicy said, hell no.
Bro, I stuck up my one finger and I was like, no, I'm not doing this.
Just hops in an Uber, rides away.
You could have broken and entered, and you could have broke a law that day. How? What? Why didn't you?
You could have been deported.
I could have said that, but you know what? I came home and I beat Socks at pool.
Hey, we're not there yet in the story. We're not there yet. We're not there. That's spoilers.
Skipping around a little bit.
I don't remember that part of the story.
So me and Navway were left.
We weren't satisfied. We needed to get in there.
They had to finish the mission.
Our mission is ongoing for like half an hour at this point.
Yeah, it's been like half an hour.
I think it's been a little more than half an hour, to be honest. I think it's been an hour at least.
Me and Navway are scouting around. We were like, we can't really go back into the hotel because there's dead silence there, and the guy is just sitting.
I got the Honey Nut Cheerio choo-choo train.
Crushes. High school. Crushes. We all had them. Girls, boys, animals, robots, cartoons. We're going to be telling our funniest crush stories. And at the end, you're going to know who everyone likes.
I crush on you.
Get away from me. I'm going to tell you guys a true crush story that happened in elementary school. And I still have the evidence to this day for some reason.
What do you mean evidence? Bro has been holding on to this for the rest of his life.
I've been keeping it in a lock.
Bro's still waiting for her to say yes, bro.
So back in my peak, elementary school, you know, the peak of all peak people, you know, the alpha male I was, okay? Obviously, I received a lot of attention from women and, you know, even some men and, you know, even some teachers.
Teachers? What do you mean by that?
I had this crush on this girl for a long time. We'll call her Emily.
Hey, Emily a baddie.
Yo. She's in elementary school.
She's in elementary school.
Yo.
That way is in elementary school still.
She was in every single one of my classes for math, science, literature, you name it. Okay, we were in all our classes. We never really talked to each other, but that was kind of normal in elementary school. You know, like the boys stick with the boys and the girls stick with the girls. You know, and honestly, exactly. And you know, honestly, I didn't know anything about her. All I knew is that she was female, and I liked it.
Good enough.
I liked it. It's crazy.
Dang, Sax, you've been looking fine recently.
Ooh, you noticed? High school. It sucked. We're going to be telling our most insane high school stories, and at the end, we will even tell you how our teacher ended up in prison. They always portray the same old stereotypes. The football Chad shoving nerds in lockers, the mean girls critiquing everyone's outfits, and the popular kids giving people swirlies. But I never seen it happen. I mean, I waited in the bathroom for ages. I gave them plenty of time to come find me.
Wait, you wanted to get a swirly? I don't understand what's happening.
Wait, weren't you homeschooled?
In reality, the niche groups of high school are much more diverse. You have the nerds, but if you break it down further, you have the anime kids. You usually see Naruto running in PE or holding dance battles at lunch. Then there are the gamers, okay? Who you can usually identify.
You've never been to high school.
Who you can identify by their Xbox deodorant. Everyone has a role to play in the food chain of high school. Like the kid that never shows up in class. Every class has one student that comes to school at max 20 times.
I never understood that. Why would you go to school to like not go to school? You know what I
It
mean?
makes no sense.
He's making money moves. He doesn't need school.
How do you keep on rocking up once every 3 months? No pencil case, no idea what's going on, and it's just fine. He's just cool with
They
it.
like only show up for tests and then they ace it.
It makes no sense.
That's because you're European, bro.
I'm still trying to figure things out.
Next, we have the quiet girl. You swear she was born without a voice. Probably wish she was invisible. Not many friends, baggy clothes. If you call her out, you either did it because you know it would terrify her, or you were wondering what her voice actually sounds like.
So she's always the baddest, bro.
Bro, that way. That way.
What?
Now, wait, are you into girls with dyed hair?
Now, what do we call girls with dyed hair?
Next question. Let's go.
Then you got the no pencil kid. Every class, every day. This kid, doesn't matter. Pen, pencil, nothing. Whoever's sitting behind them, they always ask if they can borrow a pencil. But you know, if you hand it over, they never give it back. Where are they taking it? Are they eating it? Is it gone for lunch? They even lose it in between the periods. It doesn't make any sense.
You know what makes me so angry about when they break this thing?
Oh, they snap it off? Yeah. They start fidgeting it and it just bends over. Oh my
Maybe
god.
he knows how to use a pencil sharpener with his finger.
Yes, I do. It feels so good. I sharpened my pinky and I tried to cut my nails. This is a different story for a different day, okay?
We already stole this story.
The next student is the iced coffee girl. She never shows up to school without her mocha frappa kappa chappa kappa.
That's just oof. That's just oof. That's literally just oof. That's just me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm guilty.
You're the white girl? Oof?
I'm a iced caramel macchiato girly, and I would die on this hill. I have a gun, and no one's coming to take it from me.
They're always late. Their hair is always in a messy bun. I'm pretty sure if they didn't have it, they would crumble into dust without their high caffeine, high sugar diet. And how can they afford $30 on Starbucks every single morning? The next are the band kids.
I'm telling you, bro, if Sykes went to high school, he would definitely be a band kid. Like, he'd be T-posing.
Why are you saying I didn't go to high school? You know I went to public school more than I went homeschooled, right? I was only homeschooled for 2 years.
That's more than enough.
There's a lot of different type of people, but there's also those people that are in that dust of phase. This means these people, they're all scattered around lunch. They're not in a specific group or anything, okay? They're going through something. They could be goth, they could be cosplayers, or a little furry squad. No. Yes.
Furry? Socks, would you be a furry?
Yes.
If you were a
I am
furry,
now.
what animal would you be?
I would be a big cat.
Yes, I can.
I can see it.
I would be like a dolphin.
A dolphin? It's not a furry, bro. You're supposed to be
I want to be unique.
So most furries, they pretty much keep to themselves. They're pretty chill, but trust me, don't aggravate them. Have you ever seen an angry
Oh,
furry?
you know what they do? They sit on like the floor on like the Chromebook and just like sit there watching videos and reading fanfics and stuff.
With no socks on.
The athletes. In my experience, most of the sport people, you know, at school, they were too busy just trying to catch up on sleep. It's like most of the time you got sports, school, and then you're just tired. Like your whole day is just busy. But that's until you got to PE. They take all their energy and they put it all in a game of dodgeball. You pray you're on a good team because otherwise some of the dodgeball games can feel like a life or death situation. Everything is fun and games until one of the jocks publicly executes a disabled kid with a dodgeball.
That was a good time to tell you to subscribe.
You guys are the ones to get picked last.
No, I'm really proud to tell you I was always getting first. I'm so proud about
The
that.
teachers assigned it in my class.
Yeah, I just didn't want you to feel bad.
Meme God, before you went into PE and after PE, bro, you smelled the same, bro. That's crazy.
I'm not sure why some people treat PE lessons like the Olympics, but with every PE class, there's always a huge gym teacher. This guy always looks like he's never ran a day in his life, screaming at you, work harder. I refuse to take fitness advice from people whose veins are 65% double Big Mac, okay? It makes no sense.
Crazy.
Double Big Mac is wild, actually.
Am I the only one that had their gym teacher have their office in the locker room?
That is wild.
Right in the middle of where you change. That's crazy.
Speaking of teachers, okay, there are many different types of teachers as like there is students. You think every person educating children like be normal, right? But turns out most high school teachers are straight psychopaths.
You gotta be a little crazy to teach teenagers for your whole life.
There's always one teacher that's that crazy hippie art teacher. One of those middle-aged white women with a bandana or two in her hair.
Oh my god! I had her this year. I had her, and she rated my SpongeBob house a 0.
No, but you made it in one day, didn't you?
No, I made it in 5 days.
What is that?
Why is the house depressed?
Okay, but what about my Squidward house? But you gave me a D for this too. My Squidward house bang.
Okay, that's low-key banger. Okay.
You could do that in a day, bro.
Dude, that way, did your teacher have like these giant stones on her necklace, and that's like the source of all her powers?
Yeah, she's like a hippie, bro. She had like the.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running. That's why at Grainger, we're here for you. With professional-grade industrial supplies and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I hate the natural like curly hair, like blonde curly hair.
How did the room smell like? Did it have like scented candles? And it was like...
It had like an aroma, yeah. And it was like playing like music.
And she has like armpit hair.
Oh, yes. Yes. Everyone had a teacher crush. It's part of life. If it was a man or woman, there was always some obtainable goddess that everyone wanted, or some man that shouldn't even been there. There's always some model teacher. Who was it for you guys? It was my French teacher.
I had a bunch of old heads, so.
The chemistry teacher.
Oh, tell us more, Mimi.
What if she's watching this video?
This is your time to confess. Maybe you should just tell her that you guys have chemistry.
I hope you got no teacher love. That's just weird. What the hell?
What about the NPCs? Easily the most common stereotype. NPCs are basically everywhere in high school. Do you guys ever have like a guy that was in school every day, but you didn't know if he was like a teacher or like what his job was?
Yes, bro. And he always substitute in like the library, and I'd be trying to eat in the library, and he's just like watching me,
But
bro.
the NPCs are still way more tolerable than the thirsty couples in high school. The Romeos and the Juliets. I'm just trying to go to class. They stand in the middle of the hallway or in front of your locker just making out.
It's so awkward.
You hear them like the wet, sloppy lip smacking sounds. You hear the pet nicknames being heard to each other. They do like the baby talk. I mean,
you wish it was you, but I'm just saying, you wish it was you.
While you're just trying to like crawl underneath them to get to your locker.
What if we one up them and we start oiling each other up in the hallways?
Why do we need Romeo and Juliet when we have each other? Despite you guys, watching our videos, saying that I'm pretty annoying and I never stop talking, you probably think, oh my god, probably the band kid. But no, I was just the kid sitting in the back, literally saying nothing.
That's why he was homeschooled.
I don't think I remember anything valuable from high school. I know that Bill Nye, the science guy, is a pretty cool guy. I know the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. But apart from that, like, school was just one big time lapse. It didn't even happen. Tell me one thing in high school that is helping you in the real world. Like, tell me why the Pythagorean theorem is gonna help you save a plane from crashing.
I couldn't tell you much about that one, honestly.
Dude, there's so many reasons why you could, though. Like, what?
But I feel like all the important stuff happened like the days I missed at school. Every time I feel like I didn't go to school is when something actually interesting happened. Like Mr. Beast was giving out free Tessa. As bad as that might have been, nothing is worse than the food in cafeteria.
I think this is an American thing, because the amount of slop you guys are eating.
American food is horrible. The macaroni, it was sticky. The pizza, it was musty. Okay, don't even talk about the school special.
Oh, no. You can't even talk about the pizza without mentioning it's not on like a pizza slice. It's on a hero bread.
The pizza was amazing.
This was my school pizza. It was barely a triangle.
Everything that you would get there is just a throw-up special. Nothing was good. Every day, my friends and I were playing Russian roulette on what we were gonna get. What mystery meat were we gonna get poisoned by today? And today was a Tuesday. And on this day, the prison food they served us was mac and cheese. That sounds pretty good, right? How can you mess up mac and cheese?
Is this a good time to tell I've never had mac and cheese?
Are you serious?
Whoa. Are you serious?
I don't really mess with mac and cheese that much. I'm gonna keep it a bug.
Okay, but...
Okay, we don't care. Jump back to your locker.
The thing is, how hard can that be to mess up? How can you mess up mac and cheese? It's simple.
It's 2 ingredients.
Exactly. To put in perspective how nasty this mac and cheese was, you could flip the plate upside down and the mac and cheese would stick to the top of the plate forever.
Doesn't that just mean there's a lot of cheese?
You want your mac and cheese to flip up and you want it to be stuck to the ceiling? We'd sit down, everyone's sitting next to you. Some people brought their food in from home. Those guys were lucky, okay? Everyone else, we were all looking at our plates. We weren't eating this, okay? We were not eating it. We wanted to test how grippy that mac and cheese was.
Grippy? Oh, grippy? Why would you say it like that?
Don't tell me you threw it up on the ceiling.
We wanted to see if it really just stuck on top of the plate. Would it stick on top of anything necessarily?
Oh, no.
So you know how we did our fast food tier list where we threw things on the ceiling to see if it stuck?
Yeah.
Well, you see, when you're inside the cafeteria, wouldn't it be interesting to see how long the mac and cheese could stay on the roof? We threw that mac and cheese up to the roof of the cafeteria with a sploosh. That mac and cheese not only hit the ceiling, it stayed there.
The whole clump?
Our jaws dropped. We were all in general shock that the mac and cheese that was served to us is now on the ceiling.
Sleeping with them, cuddling them, touching them.
We're going to be talking about our craziest sleepover stories, and then you have to decide who had it weirdest. I had multiple sleepovers in my lifetime, okay? One of them was with a female.
He's made it all up. Oh
Did you check and make sure?
I swear to my mother.
Oh, he slept with his mom one time. Okay,
Mother! He played Minecraft once with his friend and he was wearing a female skin.
Oh, yeah, I just told you your story before you. Don't worry, bud. Who wants to go next?
The thing was, when I was a kid, I didn't really understand what girls were. Monsters! I perceived the world through whichever Transformer toy I was putting in my mouth. I didn't even know females existed until about the age of 23.
Wait.
It was a year ago.
I'm pretty sure it was just a boy with long hair. We'll call this girl Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin.
I got a feeling that's her real name. That's a very specific name.
Yeah, that's too specific.
Caitlin and I were neighbors, okay? We used to hang out almost every single day. She would come over to my house, we'd play. It's all good. I just saw her as one of the guys, you know. I didn't know that this one particular...
She's one of the boys.
She was one of the boys.
Confused. I'm so confused, man.
Why are you confused? What's so confusing?
You wanted to sleep with a guy.
No, I just saw her as one of the guys.
She was a guy.
To sleep with her.
She was a guy?
No, it was just a sleepover. Nothing.
Sleeping with a guy.
It's a sleepover. You guys know what sleepovers are. You know what they say. The best way to get close with your friends is to sleep with them, okay?
No one's ever said that before.
When they're boys, I agree.
Whoa.
Wait, has that always been there? What even are these things? What the? Oh my god!
Are you stupid? They are the ethereal from Zenless Zone Zero, a free-to-play action game that you can play soon when released on July 4th. Yeah, this game is flashy. It's got crazy combos. It's got perfect parries.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's what Daddy likes.
Huh? Set in a futuristic, post-apocalyptic urban environment, you can play as Batman. If Batman was an anime kid called the Proxy, you split your time running a video store and exploring the Hollow, an alternate dimension that almost wiped out humanity, filled with dangerous monsters. It's got roguelike elements, so basically each adventure is different. The main reason this game is sick is the characters. Like this dude, a funny robot guy who talks to his gun. Or this guy. He kind of looks like me, right?
No.
Or this girl.
Stocks? Are you okay?
Did I mention that there's waifus in this game? Oh, she can arrest me. Oh, she can take care of me. Wait, there's a bear in this game? Super unique characters, all with their own playstyle. And you already know it's multiplayer. Today, we're going to be telling the scariest moments of our lives. I think I speak for everyone that we all went through like a near-death experience. I'm going to be talking about something that still affects me today. It still haunts me. I still think about
I
it.
don't want you to trauma dump on our audience, bro.
I want you guys to also experience my trauma, so now I don't have to experience it alone. Now I'm going to traumatize all of you. No! So I was a little Sox living with my parents. Things were not going the best that day. My mom was driving me home from tennis practice and she was already upset with me. I played a tournament recently and I didn't win any of my matches.
So you suck.
I lost normally. I lost in the loser bracket. And the thing is, they require you to play at least 3 matches. So I lost, and they made a whole new bracket just for me, probably called the Losers Losers. And I lost in that.
So you're a triple loser?
A triple loser.
So you suck.
That's what my mom was telling me all the way driving me home from tennis practice. She was ranting on why we spent so much money on me on tennis. If I wasn't even going to win a match in a tournament, I as I was crying in my seat, I was just having a bad weekend. Excuses. That's what she was saying. You're acting like my mom touched you. Are you sure you're not hurt?
I'm with your father right now.
Whoa, As I was trying to explain myself, Dad just seemed to go through one ear and out the next. I just got scolded all the way home. My mom does this thing where like she scolds me for 5 minutes and then it's quiet and then she goes again in 5 minutes. We were making our way home. The car was making its way into the garage. I noticed something inside the car. A giant red ant. It was weird seeing ants inside the car. Like I see them outside all the time, but like inside the car, it's off-putting. It was just one ant. I dealt it with my finger. You killed it? Yeah, I killed it. Yeah, it was crawling in the car. But as I was doing that, I felt something crawling over my arm. No. Ants. It wasn't just a couple. They were everywhere. All over the car seat, all over the windows. My mom was already inside because I was still crying in the car. So there were just ants all over the car. Turns out I had a Gatorade bottle. It was in my tennis bag that was outside. So probably when I was playing the matches, a bunch of ants got inside my tennis bag. And since the bag is in the car, all the ants had been released into the car. Freedom! In a panic. I'm like mid-crying. Ants are everywhere. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. I'm just smacking the car everywhere. I'm freaking out. I'm hoping none to get under my shirt. Or even worse, like my underwear.
Ants in my pants.
I think I took out probably the entire army. And I unbuckled my seat and I ran out of the car. The thing is, I still have that thing where like if I feel bugs, I think about it all the time.
I get that when I'm laying in bed and I feel like my hair move. And I'm like, oh! I get that whenever I see one singular ant on the floor in my room and I kill it and I'm like, oh my god, I have creepy crawlers over me. Oh, I hate it.
I ended up taking off all my clothes, except for my underwear. My shirt came off, my pants came off, my socks came off. The socks came off, and that's the thing is, we're not even at the scary. I'm like crying, and I'm like mid-screaming. I'm like, there's ants in the car! And I'm like running out of the car, and I run into the house. My dad, first to respond, he came to assist me. My mom probably went to go lay down, like she was done. I told him there were ants in the car. Went to the car, opened the door, checked up, down, left, up, down, thing. Is he like a ninja or something? How does he do it so well? He didn't find anything. He didn't find a single ant. What? The thing is, I'm still freaking out. I'm like, look, Dad, there's ants in the car. I'm freaking out. My dad is a very, like, I would say, rather calm and collected person. I've never heard him shout. The thing is, he was probably already upset after hearing my tennis performance.
I'm gonna beat you now. I paid too much money for you to go 0-6.
He was probably already upset. He probably heard from my mom. My mom probably texted my performance to my dad, and he was probably upset that I literally lost every single match after probably pouring in thousands of dollars into me for tennis. He snaps. There is no ants in the car. When you hear your parent for the first time actually snap after you never heard them snap,
It is so scary.
I stopped crying and I just felt scared. I'm standing there looking at him in my underwear.
I forgot you were in underwear.
I pick up my clothes and I just walk into my room. You know when you're ever so upset, I don't leave my room for like the rest of the